Guests and staff have been safely evacuated at the Table Mountain National Park Lower Cable Station in Cape Town. This follows a fire outbreak. Authorities say no injuries have been reported and about 400 guests at the upper cable station were kept up there, initially due to the thick smoke from the lower cable station. The City of Cape Town's fire department says a bank of lithium batteries caught fire this afternoon at the lower cableway station in Tafelsig Road. Firefighters were deployed to the scene to extinguish the blaze. A number of guests chose to walk down the Platteklip gorge to evacuate before the cable car was operational and were assisted on the trail by Sandparks Rangers. The Table Mountain aerial cableway says no one will be transported up the mountain until all is clear and given the time to resume operation. JP Louw now joins us for more on this. He's from Sandparks and he's the head of communications and joins us for more on this discussion. JP, thank you so much for your time. Of course, we now understand that this fire has been contained, but maybe just tell us more. Of course, so we hear that this was caused by lithium batteries. How did this fire actually come about?
Well, good evening and thank you for having us. I think what place you are saying, I mean, there was electrical fault and with lithium battery in the garage, then it all caught fire, as has been reported as well. But what really gives us great comfort is the fact that nobody really was harmed throughout this incident. You know, no staff, none of the visitors, the guests that were on site, whether it's at the lower part of the cableway or even the upper parts in the mountain, that nobody was harmed there at all. And that really, that's what gives us comfort. I must though say, indicate as well that whilst there were efforts underway to fix the cableway and get it back online, there are some guests who decided that they would rather walk down. They decided to walk down. I mean, if you know the mountain, there's what's called the Platteklip, where some of them decided to go down on foot, still supported by our rangers. And in that process, one guest got injured. I think they hurt the ankle and had to be airlifted. So other than really that particular incident, you know, we're very happy about, I mean, an incident command center was set up. You had ambulances, you had all of the different concerns that are needed. Even your rescue teams were on site to make sure that if anything had to go wrong, necessary interventions could be made. But we are quite relieved by that.
Of course, we understand. I mean, the 400 guests who were up on the Table Mountain, you know, they've been successfully evacuated. Maybe tell us, how long did that operation take, if some even took, you know, the opportunity to rather walk down the mountain?
So I didn't get the question properly.
I was saying that how long did it take for you to evacuate, you know, all the guests who were on top of Table Mountain, if you're also saying that some opted to walk down the mountain?
Our preference, of course, was for everybody to wait until the cableway is operational again. We were quite confident that all will come back to some degree of normalcy, certainly for purposes of being able to move everybody down the mountain. But when you have a big number of guests and some are, I suppose, also but edgy and insistent that they would rather go on foot, you know, you have to now plan for that occurrence. And this is why you see that our rangers then really jumped in and made sure that even in that particular instance, the guests can still remain safe and can be able to reach the bottom part of the mountain. Can I maybe even say to you as well at the same time that, I mean, we had this fire at on the cableway, but we at Sandparks had to actually deal with 4 fires today. This was really just one of 4. There was one on Signal Hill, there was another one on Devil's Peak, and there was also another one of Kloof Neck. All of them, of course, brought under control, managed to be extinguished completely. And in these cases now on Devil's Peak, we suspect that some religious groups who were busy with their own activities there might unfortunately have also caused fire. On Signal Hill and Kloof Neck, We think that it's fires that were caused by vehicles who probably left the fire unattended for it then to spark. But, all in all, it was a stressful day because of all of these 4 fires, but also a good day because all of them were brought fully under control.
And JP, has there been any significant damage to the cableway? And I ask this because, not so long ago, the cableway was closed for, maintenance. And for you now to experience something of this nature, was there any significant damage done on the cableway?
It's a bit early to be too specific on that. Safe to say to you that, the decision to say we want to make cable car company wants to make sure that all is honky-dory, literally, before they open up for usage. I do think it's a responsible decision, is the way to go. But from what we've observed, it's not really the type of damage that means that there'll be no operations anymore. But I really wouldn't want to be too overly speculative and say to you, it's a cost of X amount and this number of various things have been damaged. There's still a process underway just to look into those things and be more specific in terms of understanding what's the extent of the damages.
And for viewers, JP, would you say that the cableway is operational or is it closed for now?
I think the cableway company will make its announcements correctly, like you are announcing now in your news bulletin, that the last announcement was that it will for now be closed. I think there will be further communication about it being operational. If I had to do my own guesses, I would say that I don't see any reason why it should stay closed even for beyond a day or two, but really I'm still being speculative my own self. We will have to give them the opportunity, the technicians, the opportunity to be able to guide us about what's best at this moment.
And has this ever happened before to the cableway? We've seen a fire, a breakout?
No, it's a very unusual incident. Very, very unusual, I must say. It's not, if I was even talking to some of our experts on the ground and our firefighting team, and some of them were saying to me, and I'm talking about people who's been in the service of sun parks, for over a decade, some of them decades, and they say they've never experienced something like this before. So it's certainly not a commonality, most definitely not.
All right, JP, thank you so much for your time and for the clarity for our viewers. That is JP Louw, SANParks Head of Communications and spokesperson there, just giving us an insight in terms of the condition of that cableway. Of course, for now,
right, sure.
It does remain closed, but of course, we will then hear more communication being conducted from the cableway company itself to give the public more insight in terms of what they can expect this festive season.